Milo Rau and I'm directing the Clemenza Tito. It's about coup d'etat. Titus is king of Rome and they try to kill him. But then that's the title. It's the clemenza of Titus, that he forgives and pardons his friend and his wife, who was in the complot too. It's the last opera Mozart wrote for the coronation of the king, who wanted to show himself, because it was in the middle of the French Revolution, as a tolerant modern king. It's kind of a propaganda opera for an enlightened aristocratic vision of power. And so revolution happens in the emotions and happens in the rhetorics, but not in reality. Two things for me were missing. One thing is that they talk about the putsch, and finally I staged the first time when the capital was really stormed in the end of the presidency of Trump. But you don't see it in the opera. So I staged all this, and on the other side I asked myself, but what am I doing? So what does it mean if I depict this on stage, if I show what happens? Don't I transform it, don't I capitalize it and make art out of it to sell then this art? So it's also a critique of the machine, of the art making of the opera, of this opera itself. And that's why all the main roles become artists in my play. So we have Titus is kind of a Joseph Beuys, and Vitellia is kind of Marina Abramovic. And you have these kind of iconic artists having a sex and an emotional life, having a political life, but always living it to transform it immediately to objects of art. When I was watching the opera, I liked the aesthetic side, but I was always asking myself, what is the link to myself and to the city that surrounds the opera house? I tried to land it in a very, very concrete context, which is for me always the context of collaboration. And I was asking myself, but who came by catastrophe to Antwerp to now be on stage? So who could really tell us from how it is to live in a kind of post-apocalyptic biographical moment? So I invite 18 extras from the city of Antwerp and Gent to participate. And of course I try to criticize myself. Am I perhaps also a kind of a Titus that does a little bit of charity through art staging without really changing anything? That's what the opera is about, how to make revolution without allow the revolution to really happen. And I think that's the problem of capitalist art, no? That's a story I want to tell, but at the same time the love story is really told. That's there too. It's a good opera.